Hello, so here we're going to be solving a Leetcode problem. It's described as medium. The task is to add two numbers, and here we go with the description. You're given two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative numbers, integers. These digits are stored in reverse order, and each of their nodes contains a single digit. Add the two numbers and return the sum as a linked list. You may assume that the two numbers do not contain any leading zero except the number 0 itself. So what we're doing is we're adding 2, 4 and 3, so that's list 1, and 5, 6 and 4, which is list 2. Now you could do this with NumPy really easily, but I'm just going to do it from scratch. And the output is 708. It's the reverse of what the answer is. So the answer is, if you do 342 plus 465, then you get 807. I don't know why it's backwards. I believe that's something to do with the linked lists, the digits stored in reverse order. So without getting into the maths of it all too much, I think we can do this just with a bit of a, not a workaround, but a solution using lists in Python. And I'm just going to use this. I use this just for type checking now from typing import list. I've copied in the 3 sets of test data. So the first thing we want to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert each list, so 5, 6, 4, 2, 4, 3. I want to actually just convert those into a string. So it would be 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 4. And I'll start with an empty string. And then I'll say for I in the range 0 to the length of the list, because the lists aren't always going to be the same. If you look at lines 11 and 12, you've got two different length lists. Yeah, so for each list, it's going to go and look through it and keep adding the first number, then the second, and third, and then the fourth. And it's just going to keep concatenating them as a string, and it's going to return a string. So then we'll end up with a string such as 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 4, but you can't add two strings together just like that. So we'll convert, so we'll run our function on list 1, and then we'll convert that string, which will be 5, 6, 4, back to an integer, which will be 5, 6, 4 as a true integer. And then that will allow us to add them together. So list 3 will actually be 2, 4, 3 plus 5, 6, 4. So if we do, let's just do print L3A, and I'll comment out the rest of this, and then I'll just run it so you can see what's going on. We've got the correct answer, but it's not in the square brackets as they wanted it. They wanted, oh, it's not reversed either. Do you see we've got the actual answer, which is, what's that, 10 million? Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to reverse that and then put it back into a list. So we'll make it into a list. We need to make an empty list first. So we'll just call it result. Then what we need to do is we need to say for each item in the, actually what we'll do is we'll convert that number, the number you just saw, we need to convert that into a string, and then we say for each item in that string, strip off the quotes, because otherwise it will be in quotes because it's putting them into the list as alpha characters. And then once we've stripped those off, we're just going to append that to the list, so we'll get a forward list. So then if we did print res again. Oh, sorry, not again, but you know what I mean. Print the current. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So if we print the current thing, we've got that, but it's the opposite of what it's back to front compared to what we want. Instead of 1009998, we actually want 8999001. So to reverse that list, we can use map. So what we'll do is we'll say the result, and then what we do is we take the result, and each thing in that iterable, we map it to an integer, and then we convert that to a list. So if we do print, actually I could just let's just move that line down. There we go. Run that, and you can see we've actually stripped off those quotes that were around it because it. In fact, let's I'm just going to test something. Do I actually need to convert that? That'd be a lot easier if I could just append that, wouldn't it? Let's run it again. Yeah, so because it's an integer, it's not iterable. Yeah, I thought so. I knew there was a reason. So what we're doing is we're iterating through a string. So a string is already effectively an array behind the scenes. So we're iterating through the array in bracket, i.e. a string. So that's what we've got to. I think I need to escape that character, don't I? Right, let's just check that again. Yeah, so I've gone back too far. Let's just move that down and then run that again. And then we've got that. So then we just need to reverse it. With reverse, it actually works on, it passes it by reference rather than by value. So it actually works on the original list. And then we just need to print it. Get rid of that print from there. Run it again. And there you see, you've got 8999001. And that's our answer in brackets. You see that? 8999001, 8999001. Let's just going to test it for the other two as well. So uncomment these, run it. That should give us 0 in brackets. Yep, which is what it said there. And let's just try the other test conditions. 708 and 708. See that just there? So that looks to me like a solution. Now what I want to do is just show why Python is so good, because it's done a lot of the hard lifting with the list for us. So if we look at, sorry, on Leetcode, you go to Solution, and there's some kind of math theory here because you're carrying one when the number goes over 10. You set the current thing to 0, and then you carry the 1 to the next on the left. So there we've got some code in Java. That's actually not too bad. I saw some. Yeah, let's have a look at this. It's not too bad. That's C++. Let's have a look at some other languages. JavaScript. Whoa, that's looking a little bit more. And Python. The question actually expects you to use the class that they provide. I sometimes just like to extract their question and do it myself without having to. Wow, that's a bit longer, isn't it? How many lines is that? Let's just that is fast though, apparently. I doubt if my Python solution is very fast, but hey. Let's Control N, Control V. So that's 53 lines, their solution. Closed mine now, sorry about that. 53 lines, remember the number 53. And let's go back in, open mine. Using Python, even with the spaces and the bits and pieces, it's only 33. So yeah, almost half the, take that out as well. So you can do it with Python with fewer lines of code, which is quite nice. Again, it may not be the quickest, but it works. So, and you don't need to kind of go deep into all the math theory. You just flatten the two numbers into a string, convert the string to an integer, add the two integers together, then you convert those integers back to a string so you can add them back into the list. And then once it's in a list, then you just convert each list item, which is actually an alpha character, and you just convert each one of those back to an integer, and then you reverse it. So yeah, hopefully that's been interesting. It's just really a quick example of how you can use Python to do things quickly, which may take longer in other languages, especially if you were going to do it without some of the nice built-in functions that Python gives you, such as reverse, map, append, strip, list. Yeah, there we go. So big thumbs up to Python. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and yeah, thumbs up, subscribe.